2 months after the divorce, a single knock changed everything. His ex-wife's sister showed up, and what followed stunned everyone. Ripple of kindness, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's start. It was a gray, rain-soaked Saturday morning when Ethan Hayes, a 34-year-old single dad, heard the unexpected knock. 2 months had passed since the divorce. 2 months since his world had been turned inside out. He was still learning how to braid his 7-year-old daughter's hair, how to cook spaghetti without burning it, and how to smile like everything was fine when it wasn't. He opened the door expecting a delivery. Instead, Mia, his ex-wife's younger sister, stood there, drenched from the rain, holding a grocery bag in one hand and a folder in the other. She looked nervous. "Hey," she said softly. "Can I come in?" Ethan blinked. He hadn't spoken to anyone from his ex's family since the divorce. "Mia, what are you doing here?" She hesitated. "It's about your daughter. And my sister." Inside, the air was thick with tension and the faint scent of pancakes, the only thing Ethan could cook halfway decently. Mia placed the folder on the table. "I found out something," she said, voice trembling. "My sister, your ex, hasn't been honest with you." Ethan stiffened. "What do you mean?" "She didn't leave because she stopped loving you. She left because she found out she's sick." "Really sick?" Ethan froze. The room seemed to tilt. "That's not, no," she said she wanted out. "That she didn't love me anymore." "She lied," Mia said, tears filling her eyes. "She didn't want you or Lily." She glanced at the small drawing taped to the fridge, to see her get worse. Ethan sank into a chair, the weight of her words crashing over him. He'd spent weeks resenting her, replaying the arguments, convincing himself it was his fault. But this changed everything. "Why are you telling me this now?" he whispered. "Because," Mia said, steadying herself, "she doesn't have much time left, and she wants to see Lily one last time." That afternoon, Ethan packed a bag for Lily and drove through the rain to the hospital. He hadn't planned to go inside, just to drop Lily off. But as he watched his little girl run down the hallway and into her mother's arms, something inside him broke. The woman lying in the hospital bed looked nothing like the one who'd left him. Pale, fragile but still smiling. "Ethan," she whispered, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I'm sorry. I wanted you both to remember me as strong." He walked closer, holding Lily's hand. "You could have told me," he said quietly. "I didn't want pity. I wanted peace." Ethan reached out and took her hand. "You could have had both, and with us." For a long moment, the three of them sat in silence, broken only by Lily's small voice asking her mom to read her favorite bedtime story. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and Mia took turns caring for her. They shared hospital meals, late-night talks, and old memories that had once hurt too much to touch. And somewhere between grief and forgiveness, something unexpected began to grow: understanding. Mia wasn't just the sister of the woman he once loved. She was someone who showed up when no one else did. She reminded him that compassion doesn't ask for timing. It just shows up when it's needed most. When his ex-wife passed peacefully one morning, Ethan held Mia's hand and whispered, "Thank you for bringing her back to us." 6 months later, on a warm spring evening, Ethan watched Lily chase fireflies in the yard. Mia stood beside him, smiling softly. "She'd be proud of you," Mia said. "Of us," he corrected. There was a long silence, and then Ethan added, "You know what's crazy? I thought the divorce was the end of my story. Turns out it was just a painful chapter before something better." Mia looked at him, eyes shining. "Maybe it's not about losing love," she said. "Maybe it's about learning how to love deeper, even after loss." Ethan nodded. "Yeah, maybe that's what real kindness is, and staying even when you have every reason to leave." 6 months later, life at the Hayes home felt gentler. The laughter that had once vanished now filled the small 2-bedroom house again. Lily had started painting. The walls of her room were a gallery of color and hope. And Mia, well, she was there almost every evening. At first, she came just to help, with dinner, with homework, with the quiet moments when grief hit hardest. But somewhere along the way, those visits became something neither of them could imagine living without. Ethan would catch her humming while washing dishes, her hair tied in a messy bun, sleeves rolled up, completely lost in thought. There was something about her presence, steady, healing, real, that grounded him. One night, after putting Lily to bed, Ethan walked out to the porch. The air was cool, the crickets singing their soft chorus. Mia sat there, wrapped in a blanket, sipping tea. "She looks more like her mom every day," Mia said quietly. "Yeah," Ethan replied, smiling faintly. "But she's got your stubbornness." Mia laughed, that easy, warm laugh that had become his favorite sound. "I'll take that as a compliment." They sat in silence for a while. The kind of silence that wasn't empty. It was comfortable, filled with understanding. Then Ethan spoke, voice barely above a whisper. "You know, when you knocked on my door that day, I thought it was the worst reminder of what I'd lost." He turned to her. "Now I realize it was the start of getting my life back." Mia's eyes shimmered in the porch light. "I didn't know what would happen either," she said softly. "I just knew Lily needed you to know the truth. And maybe I needed to make peace with it too." Ethan nodded slowly. "Peace," he repeated. "That's something I didn't think I'd find again." A few weeks later, Lily's school held a Family Appreciation Day. Parents were invited to join their kids for a small performance and art show. When Lily walked onto the stage holding a crayon drawing in her hands, Ethan and Mia sat side by side in the front row. "This," Lily said proudly into the microphone, "is my family." The crowd smiled, but what caught everyone's breath was the picture she held up. It showed 3 people, her dad and her aunt, all holding hands, standing under a sky painted half blue and half golden, and above them, a bright white cloud shaped like a heart with angel wings. "She's still watching us," Lily said, her voice small but certain. Ethan felt his throat tighten, and Mia instinctively reached for his hand. In that moment, grief and love blended into something beautiful, something whole. That night, after they tucked Lily into bed, Ethan found himself standing by the window, looking out at the stars. Mia joined him quietly, her hand brushing against his. "She really sees the world in a way that makes you believe again," Ethan said. "She gets that from her parents." Mia smiled. He turned toward her, a small, grateful smile tugging at his lips. "No," he said softly. "She gets that from everyone who's chosen love over bitterness." Mia looked up at him, and for a heartbeat everything stilled. The grief, the guilt, the uncertainty. Then, without a word, Ethan leaned forward and kissed her forehead. It wasn't romantic, not yet. It was a quiet thank you, a promise. Months later, as spring bloomed again, Ethan stood in his small backyard, grilling burgers while Lily ran around with a butterfly net. Mia was inside, setting the table. Neighbors waved. Music played. Life, the simple, honest kind, had returned. When Mia stepped out carrying a bowl of salad, she looked up and smiled at Ethan. "Can you believe how far we've come?" she said. He nodded. "Yeah, I used to think life fell apart to punish us. Now I think it falls apart to push us where we're meant to be." She set the bowl down and looked at him, her expression soft. "You mean here?" He smiled. "Exactly here." Lily ran up, throwing her arms around both of them. "Family hug," she squealed. And in that golden hour light, as laughter filled the air, it felt like every wound, every loss, every moment of heartbreak had led them to this. A second chance built not on romance alone, but on kindness, forgiveness, and love reborn through compassion.